financial literacy has always been a problem in our communities. Like how you just said right now. Oh, we had money, but we were blowing it. So that's a double side to it. You had money, but due to no financial literacy, you were spending it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm up, but my homie's in the pen. Like, and these are just like regular things. Like, I was like on there. I think I said something like, "I got some shorties at the crib," but then my homie's telling me like, "Oh, it's time to get active out here in these streets." You know what I mean? Like, I'm about to get jumped. Like, oh, like, and I feel like these are things that we just deal with in our communities.
Hey man, first of all, I want to say, man, I appreciate you for just being patient, man. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing everything to link up, but sometimes them be the best ones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
When you
yeah.
can't get it right away and you try so hard, sometimes them be the best ones, them be the ones that go. Even if
Facts.
it's a song, you like, okay, man, I've been trying to record this one song, or I've been trying to get this hook right, da 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 da. Next thing you know, that's the one to take off. You feel me?
Bro, that's kind of where I'm at right now too. Even like with this like music stuff, that's like exactly where I'm at right now.
Well. Before we get into that, we live, we lit, we back for another episode of the A1 Live podcast. I got a dope artist, dope MC, dope individual joining with us. Give it up for Joey West.
What's good, bro?
Yeah, you feel me? I started to start it off calling you Joe West, but I ain't want no attention. And now you already know, you already know I got some battle rap bars waiting for you. So we we
I
we,
was just
we
gonna
go.
say we still got to get that battle rap in, bro.
But you had mentioned that's what you mean as far as music trying to so where you stuck at, man? You working on the album right now, or you working on a project that you having writer's block? What's going on?
Nah, it's just like so. I intern at a studio as well, right? I intern for like a producer, and I have like this deal kind of worked out where I can just like utilize the studio, but like I work a lot here essentially. So it's just like fitting time into like getting all that done, and the studio is like an hour and a half from my crib. You know what I mean? So just to get down here to mission, and then like just time management. To be honest with you, I feel like
Yeah.
that's something that's really overlooked within like, especially like up and coming artists. Like when you're like almost like a one man team, or you got like a couple people on your team, it's that time management that is like overlooked a bunch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. They don't see the grind you put in. I seen a
Yeah.
video I seen a video for the making of capping, right? Where you
Yeah, bro.
said I'm writing, I'm producing, I'm engineering, I'm mixing, I'm doing covers. You know what I'm saying? So they don't see all that. What gave you that hindsight to say, yo, I'm gonna do it all by myself? Besides like because you come across as the type of person, right? That even if you had help on your team, you come across to the person that like, yo, that's cool, but I'm gonna do it all by myself. Like I'm gonna still be hands on. What gave you that hindsight to be hands on with everything that you're doing?
It's because, bro, when I first started rapping, like I reached out for help. I try to get that help. I try to have a dude to do my artwork. I try to have a dude to like sit down and produce with me. I try to do this. I try to do that with like a bunch of people. But like, bro, don't nobody care about your process like you. Like, don't nobody. Like, yeah, if you make it, yeah, no one's in the, like. They're cool. Like, it's cool if you make it, whatever. But they're not. They don't have that itch for you to make it like you have it, bro.
Ain't nobody gonna work like you work.
Exactly, bro. It's the same thing like with any single business. Like my pops used to own a restaurant, and he used to tell me like, whatever restaurant, whatever business endeavor you do in the future, don't own a restaurant, because when you're not there, it all goes to hell, bro. Like you know what I mean? And
What
I feel
kind of
like
what
that's
kind of restaurant did he own?
we're Mexican, bro. So like, I think I get my work ethic from that too because my dad actually kind of got like screwed over, like within that facility and everything. And so he kept like trying to fix it. He would make it a taco shop. He'd make it like a seafood place, a traditional Mexican place. Eventually, he ended up selling it, But yeah, that's the thing that I got from my pops for sure, especially like around that era because I was like 16, 17. Real like you're either gonna like at that age, you're either gonna develop good habits or bad habits, especially at that age. And during that age, I just developed crazy work ethic.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, so Pop's owning a restaurant. You doing music. What made you before you answer? What made you get into music? Why didn't why didn't you say, okay, well, I'm gonna get into culinary, or okay, what made you, you know what I'm saying, say I'm gonna switch the whole profession up?
Um, so my pop's restaurant, he made it into a restaurant because like the facility of the place is like it was like kind of like a bigger building, right? And it was like a Mexican like market slash like butchery. I actually worked at the butchery when I was like 16, and I chopped my finger off. This one, I chopped that finger off. I don't know if you kind of see how this one's kind of this one's at an angle and this one's not. Like this one's
Yeah.
a little sharper. Yeah, so bro, I bust my ass in there, bro. You know what I mean? And I just like those type of places kind of have a limit to them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Um, all those places have a limit to them. Yeah, I could have taken it over. That specific one, probably no. I didn't want to take it over. It was just
Yeah, you did. I was gonna say you didn't say, okay, let me take what he built and make a name, make a conglomerate out of this. You was like,
nah.
let me draw my own path.
Yeah, I feel like what my pops gave me the most, like he didn't really give me like the bread or the money or anything like that, but something that he gave me was first of all like a good father figure and like that work ethic. I'm telling you, bro.
Sometimes, bro, like people don't realize that that's those are the jewels more than him just silver spooning you and just
Yeah,
because he
facts.
could have easily just handed you the bread, handed you the company, but without knowing the work that ethic or without having that drive, you gonna fumble the ball.
Yeah,
You see what I'm
facts, bro.
saying? You can get the silver spoon, you can get the plate the silver platter put in front of you, but
Yeah,
is you gonna know how to pick up that spoon and eat though?
facts. And it's kind of crazy how everything happened, bro. Because like when I was like 15, when I was like 12 to like 15, my dad was up, bro. Homie was up, and when I hit like 16, around that era, everything kind of started like downfalling because he ended up getting screwed over by like a ton of people, right?
Yeah.
Like all at once, and I also ended up getting in my own fair share of trouble. You know what I mean? So like you got kids, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, your kids are a little younger though, right?
I got three of them. I got a 11-year old. I got my second one to be 9, and then my third one is 9 months.
Yeah. Let's say
So
you
they
get buy
fairly
your 11
young.
year old like a PS5, bro, and then he goes out and like does some crazy ass stuff. Like he starts stealing, he starts like getting in fights, X, Y, and Z. Are you still gonna want to get at that for him, or are you gonna be like, nah, homie, like I'm
Yeah,
already, yeah.
yeah.
It's the same
Now
thing
it's
with
time to teach you responsibility because I'm spoiling you and
yeah.
so to speak. But you think, and then us being men, we get adolescent early, and we start feeling ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Feeling like we got these big kahunas, and then now we want
Not
to
only
stick our
that, add some
chest
pussy
out.
into the equation, bro. Add some pussy into the
Mm,
equation. You feel like, I can't nobody tell me nothing. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And
yeah,
then let's say you're hustling a little bit, you making a little bit of money. Ooh, can't nobody tell you anything. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. We start thinking our shit don't stink.
Exactly, bro. And I got a little bit of that. Like when I was like 16, I ended up getting caught up. Got in
What was
some
going on?
issues.
Like, what was you out here doing? Let's put that out. Put yourself on blast. I mean, that was years ago. Don't worry about that, man. The feds ain't watching this. You all right? Because the youth will see this and then they look at you as someone to look up to. They might be going through the same thing, and they see Joey West come out of that, have all these like
Adversity.
detours in his life,
Yeah,
and then now he putting it in the music. Now he found something
that's
positive to put into. So talk about that. Talk about what talk about the type of things that you were getting into, and expound on that a little bit.
bro. Like when you're at that age, you're just trying to get money. That 9 to 5 ain't cutting
You
it.
was out here gang banging,
No, I
throwing up
wasn't gaming. I
cassettes.
never game banged.
Okay.
Nah, I never game bang. I got my ties, but I don't game bang. Cause I got family on this side, I got family on that side. You feel me? Like,
Okay.
so
Okay.
nah, game banging never like, and I was never. I was more into getting that paper. Feel me? Like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna teriyaki trap. We know, and
Because okay, where are you from exactly? I know you're on the
so I'm
West
from
Coast, but
Pacoima. I'm from
where?
Pacoima. That's in
O-
LA. Pacoima.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
okay, because
it's
I
in
know
the
that.
down in LA. So that's where I'm from. I moved to Utah when I was like 7, and then my parents worked a bunch. So like any chance they would get, they would ship me and my sister back home. So like I'd be back home for like 3 months at a time, a month at a time, and then back to Utah. And it was the craziest thing, bro, because like specifically back then, like '07, '08, '09, technology hadn't really hit yet.
Hmm.
So Utah was very like, I want to say like they were like a couple years behind of everybody. To be honest with you,
Really?
yeah. Like I remember I'd come back like wearing like the newest drip from like out there, and over here they come back and be like, bro, what are you wearing? You know what I
Yeah, yeah,
mean?
yeah, 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 yeah.
And I caught,
We ain't
I,
wearing those no more. We on this. Yeah.
yeah. And I'm on like, and I caught on to that real quick because I remember like this one kid, bro, like, bro, he was telling me, what are you wearing? Like, and I was like, you guys just don't get it yet. Like, I was like 8 maybe. I was like, you guys don't get it yet. You guys like eventually you guys will get it. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
I just noticed that process all through like my life, even now. Like I be mixing certain fabrics here, certain fabrics there.
Yeah.
I look at music the same way I look at clothing. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? You
Hmm.
can tell a dude makes whack music if he dresses whack. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I always say that was a super advantage for me, like having that ties back home and everything.
Hmm.
So, and I was always able to bring that culture back to Utah, and in some ways it helped.
See, you because you could have been the reigning champ, right? You could have been the one they look at, like, okay, now we got somebody that's waving our flag for us. Yeah, we rocking with Joey West. We
Yeah,
rocking with J Dub.
yeah, and if you know, it's funny that you say that because like when I'm out here in Utah. And I say I'm from like LA, they get tight. They're like, "Nah, you're from out here." And when I'm over there, and I say like, "Oh, I'm coming from Utah," they're like, "Yeah, but you from out here. Don't forget that." You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, yo, yeah, I get it. They don't know what they want you to rep. You feel me?
Exactly, bro. So
And
I
then
figured just
okay, and
like
then
do you.
you talked about Pacoima is am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, Pacoima. Yeah.
Like coming from a person that I'm from Detroit, right? I'm from the Midwest. I'm from the the other side of the city. Is is the gang culture really that serious? Like is it really what we see in the news and the music? Is it really that?
Yes.
Like
Let me
talk
take a
about
sip of
that.
water. Hold on. Yes.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit and explain what that means. Like for a guy like Joey West coming up. Like, is it a lot of influence? Is it a lot of guys tapping you on your shoulder, like, yo,
Super political. You know how it is. Super political. Where I'm at, I'm Mexican, but like I grew up a lot around a lot of like black folk out there, right? Like my cousins are black, this and that. So the thing about that is, damn, how do I say things without like putting business out? Um, the ones that do what they do, they're from a very known, gang out there. And the thing about Pacoima, since it's a lot of like predominantly Mexicans out there,
Okay.
like it's just crazy the way that the politics are. Like we grow up around each other, but you can definitely feel the gang ties. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna share this like little quick story. I remember I was with one of my homies out there, and he's a B dog,
Okay.
and he
Now,
takes
what's
me
the
to
B
this
dogs? Is that like a blood?
yeah,
Okay, all right.
and
Cause
and
I'm asking, cause this is a person that
yeah,
just don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know the lingo. Like I'm you teaching me right now.
yeah, I got you.
I might want to get I might want to get jumped into the B dogs. Teach me. Go ahead.
Nah, yeah. So you know what? Whatever. Like, if you're out in Pacoima and you bloody, you pyro. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, so the homies that I got out there who are like that, they're pyro. You know what I mean? And I remember like predominantly this one time, like they took me to like another like hood or whatever, right? And um like I remember like him telling me like, oh, this dude is from this set, and like we're technically not supposed to be here. We're technically not supposed to get along, but like we
Mm,
grew up around each other. Like, how are we just gonna say like, oh, like screw that fool? You know what I mean? Like, nah, we known each other since we were kids. So it's very like political. It's very like you can get caught slipping if you don't know. You know what I mean?
really, really.
Yeah. Um. Specifically the hood that I like frequent and everything out there, it's a little bit more. it's not as active. You know what I mean? Like a lot of older folk. Like it's my uncle's crib out there. You know what I mean? But like they still got the
Working
nephews.
class.
No, not working. Like don't get it twisted. It
Oh,
still
okay,
gets
okay,
active.
okay.
It gets active,
Okay,
but not as heavy. Not as heavy. You
okay,
know what I mean?
okay.
Like
They done
um,
been there, done that a little bit. So,
cops still be pulling up. Cops still be like raiding. You know what I mean?
mm.
But it's just you don't feel that pressure as much. You know what I mean?
Have you ever speaking of cops, man, you brung the boys up. Have you ever like been profiled or like talk about a situation where you may have been just, you know what I'm saying? You may have been just coming from the stove, coming from the stool. You get profiled a lot out there?
I got locked up, fool. I got straight up locked up like that one time. Um, to make a long story less long, it was my brother-in-law that was driving. My sister was in the shotgun. One of my homies was in the back seat, and I was in the back seat too. We were
Mm-hmm.
just driving, you know. Um, it was like 1 in the morning or something like that. We
Mm-hmm.
were literally at the house just chilling, you know, ain't doing
Yeah,
shit. And
yeah,
we drive to Taco Bell because we get the munchies, you know what it is.
yeah,
And we get pulled over. The cops start saying, "Oh, I think you guys came from a party, yada yada yada. You guys cut across a parking lot. It looks all suspect." Boom! They end up pulling like my brother-in-law out of the whip, right? And he had a beer, so they arrested him off of one beer. Here in Utah, they do not play, bro. They do not play, dog. He had one beer in the system, like, and they locked him up for that. And
what
um,
type of time is they giving for that? Like what they see, like you gotta.
he got off. He got off because he fought it, and like when he fought it, and then like the prosecutor or like the judge, and they're like, bro, like the percentage that he blew was like literally from one beer. They're like, it's ridiculous that they even arrested.
Yeah.
They when everything kind of closed out, you can tell it was on some racist shit. To be honest with you,
And it's
like
crazy because for one little beer, you want to do all this paperwork. You really need to go through all this work, and in the end of the day, you wasting taxpayers' money. That's why I be feeling like they getting over, bro. They
bro,
really.
that was the easiest part of the story, bro. So
Oh, okay.
they come around, they start like pressing us and everything, and like I told my homie, I'm like, bro, roll your window. We don't got to be talking to this clown right now, like. You know what I mean? I'm getting a little heated too because at this point I'm like, bro, like they're just messing with us. They're questioning us like, yo, why don't you have your wallet? What kind of 20-year-old walks around without his wallet? Like, what are you doing out here? Like, it's hella late. Why are you not in your house? Like, bro, like talking to us like we're in Nazi Germany or something. Like, like
Yeah,
what? Like, I'm like,
yeah.
bro, I forgot my wallet, dog. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, I have Apple Pay. Like, I don't really need to have my wallet with me right now. It's not a big deal, right?
Were they physically aggressive with you?
Not yet, not yet. Um, and so we're rolling the windows up, right? And as we're doing that, a cop puts his hand in the window and pops the doors open. They surround the car and pop the doors open, right? And they're telling me like get the fuck out of the car. Like they're talking to me like this. They're like, get the fuck out of the car. Yada yada yada. I'm like, bro, like for what? And they're all like, nah, it's because we smell alcohol. This and that. We know that you've been drinking. Like to me. And I'm all like, what? And mind you, they ran my name. They ran me and my homie's name. My homie's a writer, but he's never gotten in trouble or anything like that. You know what I mean? But with me, they saw I'm already on paperwork. Like I already
You
got
got the
my
red hat on.
bro, I got my track list and
Oh,
stuff,
you got a
right?
nice little rap sheet. Okay.
Yeah. And so they're like messing with me. They're like, get out of the car. I'm like, bro, I'm not getting out of my car. And they're like, get out of the car. And then I'm like, bro, I'm not getting out. And they asked my homie, I'm like, hey, can you step out of your car? Because we're going to pull this dude out. Like, we don't want to hurt you either because we're about to hurt this. They tell him, like, we're about to hurt him. We don't want to hurt you.
Wow.
He gets out of the car, right? And he's like, I'm gonna give you guys one more chance to like get out of the car. He tells me, and I look at my sister and I tell her in Spanish, like, hey, do you want me to get out? This is your car. Do you want me to get out? I'm cool with whatever repercussions I get. I'm gonna get them. Like, I'm not putting anything into the universe, but I'll die behind my pride. You know what I mean? Like, I'm finna get disrespected by nobody. I don't care if you got a badge. I don't care if you got a gun. I'm not gonna get disrespected.
But see, sometimes Joey, man, that could be a gift and a curse. You feel me? Like real quick, like because me and my cousin Mike Michigan, he's an artist too. Shout out to him. we've been pulled over together so many times, and we're not we're like when we get in those situations. Salute to him because we like night and day, and he's just like you, right? I'm the guy that's cooperative, like you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Even if I know we 100% do nothing wrong and they just being assholes, right?
yeah,
I'm the guy that's yes sir, whoop de whoop, smile and he's the guy like you. He like yo, what the f and woo 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 and da da da
yeah.
da da. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like with me, bro, like I don't really get active like that. Like I'm cooperative when I gotta be, but then when you start disrespecting me, when you start opening my whip, like you know
Yeah,
what I mean, it
yeah,
comes down to a point where I'm all like, nah, I gotta. I feel like it's almost like if I don't do something, if I let them walk all over me, they're gonna think it's okay and then keep doing it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
crazy. Maybe my perspective changes once I have kids. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
at that point it's different. But like the way I was, like I just also in the heat of the moment, I was just like,
yeah.
whatever happens,
Yeah,
it's
that's
just gonna
true.
happen.
When you
You know
when
what I
it's the
mean?
heat of the moment, that's true. Yep.
And I told my sister, I'm like, bro, like you're my sister. You're about to see these dudes like
Yeah,
put their legs on me, put their hands on me. You know what I mean? They're about to
yeah,
do it to me.
yeah.
And like to the point where they're already like, one dude already has his hand on his weapon, another dude has his nightstick out, like ready with it.
They
And dude,
ready.
it's like four or five of them, and it's just me. And like, so and she tells me, she's like, please get out of this car. She's like, I don't want to see whatever's gonna happen. Just please get out of the car. So boom, I get out of the car, right? And they start doing like the field sobriety test on me, and I'm all like, bro, I'm not doing this. I'm like, I'm not doing this. This isn't my car. I was a passenger. I was wearing my seatbelt. I was in the back seat. The cars were locked. You guys violated us like by doing this. Like, I'm not doing the field sobriety test. And he's all like, well, what about breathalyzer? I'm like, bro, I'm not doing it, dog. Like, I'm not finna stand here like you violate me like that, right? And he's like, it's because I smell alcohol on you. So I told him like, man, I smell alcohol on you, bro. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're
That's
the
what
one
you
that smells
told
like.
him.
Yeah, I told him like, you're the one that smells like alcohol, not me. And he didn't like that. He arrested me
Yeah,
or
no,
whatever.
he didn't appreciate that very much. Okay.
Yeah. So they arrested me. They take us in, like, or whatever. I'm messing with them. I'm like, we get to the station, and I'm telling him to open my door. I'm like, hey, come open my door because my hands are filled. My hands are handcuffed behind my back. I'm telling him like, yo, I'm gonna need you to come open my door for me. And then like he gets me out, and they're opening the front door, and like there's a group of cops out there. I'm like, hey, do you guys see how he's about to open my door right now? What a gentleman! I'm just giving this dude a hard time, right? Because I'm like, bro, I'm already like arrested. I don't give a damn,
you
bro.
you
You know
you
what I
you
mean?
you figure I'm already going down. Let me just make the best of
Yeah,
it.
I'm giving this dude. I'm talking to this dude like he's a hoe, bro. I'm telling him like, yo, do this for me, do that for me. I'm gonna need you to do this. All right, now I need you to check me out. Like, you know what I mean? And like this is not having it. We're like he's having it, but he's just not like happy about it, right? Because like his coworkers are also like cracking up about it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, how you ever been out like on the block and like you guys are just snapping at each other and like your homies are laughing even though you're the one that's getting roasted.
Yeah, yeah,
It was
absolutely.
that type of thing because I was going in on this dude and his homies are like laughing at him. And so they put us in the booking. They put me and my brother-in-law in the bookings, right? We're
Mhm.
sitting there in holdings, and then tell me why I hear them talking to ICE, bro. They call ICE on us, and they're
Now
all
who
like,
is
"Yo,
ICE? What is that? I'm from the
yeah, yeah, yeah." ICE is the immigration center, like to send like illegals back to Mexico.
stop it. I kind of figured that's what it was, but I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah, bro.
no.
They did us like that, fool. And like, so they said my name. They're like, "Oh, does he have papers? Is he a legal resident or whatever?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then they're like,
You
"Oh, what
illegal, my
about?"
G?
Yeah, yeah, we legal, bro. We legal.
No. Okay.
And they're like, what about his brother-in-law? What about this dude? Are you sure he is legal? Are you sure? Like they're like almost like wanting them to say, oh no, he's not. You know what I mean? And so whatever, we made bond. It's whatever. But like that
Yeah,
whole ordeal
yeah.
was just like
Oh,
I've always personally like, even as a kid, like I didn't learn English, so I was like maybe like six. I knew English, but not like fluently. You know what I mean? I didn't learn fluent English. I was like 6 or 7. Like I'd be talking Spanish, and I'd have like teachers telling me in school, like as a child, like, "Hey, this is America. We speak English here. We can't have you speaking Spanish." Like, imagine telling that to like a child, like saying, "Hey, we speak
yeah,
English in
absolutely.
America." Like, so I've always like dealt with that. Like, I remember when I was
And these
younger.
teachers that were and these well obviously these are teachers that weren't your nationality, right? Let me
Nah,
guess.
bro.
Yeah,
Nah.
okay.
Because in Cali, food, if you don't speak Spanish, if you don't speak English, they'll talk to you in Spanish. Because most of them are like Latinos.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
You just
Like,
had those few assholes. This
yeah, bro. And like my dad's a little darker too. So like I remember there'd be times where we'd be driving at night and they pull him over to be like, hey, like we're just checking up on you on something. Like my dad's not that fluent in English either. You know what I mean? Just give him a hard time, bust his balls. Make him show up in court and
we
everything.
just checking up on you. That's different. That's
Yeah,
crazy, man. Like real quick, like and going back to you mentioning when the police was trashing your car, right? I remember this one particular time, me and my cousin. So remember I told you we've been we've been pulled over a number of times together, but this one particular time, right? We were on our way to the studio, actually, right?
yeah,
Fire. So we on our way. I remember this like it was yesterday. I remember every time we on our way to the studio. I remember it like it was yesterday. So we on our way to the studio. Of course, we blowing
yeah,
good green. This I would think this back when Gan was out. We just blowing heavy.
yeah.
Like we ain't got no care in the world because we were on our way and we had made a hook. Like normally that's how our hooks came when we was on our way to the studio and we just come up with a hook. So we driving.
Oh,
Woo,
y'all make your hooks on the way to the studio?
yeah, like a lot of our hits, bro, has
Yeah,
came like that. We be on our way to the studio to do something else, and
yeah.
by the time we get to the studio, we got a whole nother song because we on our way.
What?
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
just freestyle, we just throwing beats on, and next thing we know, we got a hook by the time we get to the studio.
that's fire.
So this particular time, we was on our way to the studio doing the same thing, making this song called we did this hook called Keep Rocking. So we was going back and forth, debating on words. Fast forward to that, we get flick. Woo! Red and
Yeah,
blue flick, right? So I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. So finally, of course they smell the weed, so now they got probable cause, right?
yeah,
Get out the car. So we get out the car, immediately put the cuffs on us. You know what I'm saying? Even though he had his license and all of that,
yeah.
immediately put the cuffs on us. And I'm talking about when they trash my cousin car, bro. Like, so
What?
first of all, he keep his glove compartment locked, which is
Huh?
legal.
Yeah,
If you keep
facts.
if you don't have a warrant, and I don't
They
know
can't
how the
open
law
it.
works, maybe because they had probable cause, but I don't know. I feel like they wasn't supposed to unlock
Nah,
that.
they can't. If it's locked, like it's the same thing. Remember that Jay-Z song where he's all like, "In the glove compartment is locked, so you gonna need a warrant for that."
Yeah, yeah. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So you're gonna need a warrant for that. Yeah, that was 99 problems.
yeah.
I'm talking about they couldn't get it open because like it's locked, you know what I'm saying? Giving them the flux. They rips the glove compartment open, rips the middle console. I'm talking about, bro,
What?
his back seats, they ripped them up. I'm talking about like, bro, what y'all looking for? Ain't no dope in here. We
Yeah,
got weed. Everything y'all need, we giving it to you. We had
yeah,
little quarters, you carry, and this is back at a time when my cousin used to ride around with mason jars full of
yeah,
weed. He gave it like he telling them like, yo, bro, all we got is weed in here. Ain't no guns. Da 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 da.
yeah.
We on our way to the studio. Trashed the car. Didn't find nothing else. Right. Made him pour the weed out on the ground. Made him pour the weed out on the ground. Cool. Because the engineer that we was going to, he did his thing. So we was like, all right, we'll just, re up when we get back
Yeah,
over there.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying? We went tripping, throw it out. This and then like you say, this back when we young, so we blowing weed. We don't get, you know what I'm saying? We gonna get
Yeah.
smoke. We blowing money. When you young, you
Yeah.
ain't think about saving. We blowing this. Finally, did they give us a ticket? I don't even think they gave us the ticket, bro. They did all of that, right? Let us go. I don't even think they gave us the ticket. And then do you know these jackets? So we getting back in the car. We trying to get the car together, trying to make sure everything. They now we facing this way. They facing the opposite way. They drive back past us. Good luck in the studio in there, like being like you know what I'm saying. So in the song capping, right?
Yeah.
You said all my life has been double sided.
Yeah.
Explain that a little bit to the viewers.
Well, it goes back down to like being like black and brown, bro. Like how you were saying, like, okay, financial literacy has always been a problem in our communities, like how you just said right now, oh, we had money but we were blowing it. So that's a double side to, you had money but due to no financial literacy you were spending it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm up but my homie's in the pen, like, and these are just like regular things. Like, I was like on there. I think I said something like, "I got some shorties at the crib," but then my homies telling me like, "Oh, it's time to get active out here in these streets." You know what I mean? Like I'm about to get jumped. Like oh, like and I feel like these are things that we just deal with in our communities. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
just speaking my
Which is
truth.
sad because a
Yeah.
lot of times we'll say, and you will hear a lot of these rappers that'll be like, I came from the bottom, or I ain't had nothing, or I didn't get taught nothing. I'm gonna say this, right? Although my mom, okay, my mom and my dad didn't live in the same household when I was coming up,
Mhm.
right? But both was like I lived with my mom, so of course she was always there and always taught me, always kept me grounded. But so did my dad, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I wasn't taught right or wrong, or it wasn't like my mom didn't teach me to save money. It's just for some reason, like you know what I'm saying. So you know sometimes we'll make excuses, or well they didn't, nobody taught me that if I took 1,000 K up and put it up and da, da, da. Sometimes you were taught that and you just did what you wanted to do anyway. So like you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. And sometimes it also has to do with like your associations. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
let's say you and your homie both have a job, right?
Okay.
Same job and everything. And your pops and your mom is showing you what to do, but he's not like that. At his house, they're not. You guys both get the same paycheck. He knows how much you get, and he tells you, "Yo, let's go in on this zip. Let's go in on this brick." You know what I mean, or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, "Yeah, it's good. Let's do it." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of saying like, "Hey, let's put our money to the side and then start our own clothing business or something
Yeah.
like that." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
Yeah.
just like that's how we come up thinking, and
Yeah. Yeah.
like to us that's real and normal. You know what I mean? But like to these other people that like grow up differently than us outside of our communities, like that kind of talk, that kind of conversation is like so taboo to them. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And to us, growing up, how do you think you can get rich? You either make music,
Mhm.
playing sports, or hustling. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Whereas like we didn't know about stocks, we didn't know about like businesses, we didn't know about like LLCs, tax breaks, like you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I was fortunate enough where like once again my pops he had his own business so he taught me all this stuff, right? And so I learned this stuff and like I trickled it down to the homies and everything.
Yeah.
But bro, it like I can definitely see the differences
You
in the
you thinking about well, but before I get on that, let's say you get a let's say Joey West settle down, right? You had you a nice little family, you know, you had you 2 3 kids running around. What will you do different? Maybe you were taught everything, but what's a couple things, maybe one thing, maybe one or two things that you would do different to break the curse or break the cycle or to instill them that maybe you didn't do or maybe you didn't learn. You follow what I'm saying?
yeah.
That you will break that generational curse so that when it's daytime, what would you do different to teach them or instill in them? Like what's one or two things that you think maybe that you would instill in them that you know that's important to you that you wish, oh, I wish I had done that.
Mm, I wish I was taught more about loans. You know
Okay.
what I mean? I wish I
Okay.
was taught more about loans. I always knew about them, but and saving. I wish I was taught more about saving.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because to me, I was always brought up that you save when you want to buy something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you only save to buy something. You don't save to start a business. You don't save to do this. You
Mm-hmm.
save because
You
you want
say
to
because
make
the new, like you say, the new Yeezys done came out. Let me.
exactly. But overall, I think my pops did a really good job with that. To be honest with you, he guided me pretty well in life. He let me make my mistakes, and I think that's something that I want to carry down to my kids. Is like let them make those mistakes. You know, I was talking to my shorty about this last night, like because she grew up very differently. She's from out here. You know what I mean? So she grew up like seeing differences. You know, she has a very successful father. She has a successful mom. All her brothers are super successful. You know what I mean? With my dad, he's the very first one in our family to have like success. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And it's
So
still
he
not
broke
ultra
that. So
successful.
he's the one that broke that generational curse for you and going forth. Copy.
Facts. He broke it, but when it's only one, there's only so much he can do. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's kind of you know what it is. A big part of it is. Do you know the story of MC Hammer and why he
Mm-hmm.
went broke?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Same
100
thing.
dancers.
Same thing,
so to
bro.
speak. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Same
Not
thing.
even just trying to please everybody, you know?
Not even trying to please everybody, but just my dad's a really giving dude. So on some like, all right, let me try to get this family member a crib, and not even like where he's buying it, but let me get it for them and have them pay for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or let
Yeah.
me get this property in Mexico and like to help us here. Let me open up this shop with my brother so he has money too. Like my pops is a very giving dude. You know what I mean? But on the same note, people see that and take advantage of it. Not necessarily our family members. Our family members haven't really taken advantage of my pops. It's mostly been like outside people that came in and like taken advantage of him. To be honest with you,
You brung up something about property. Do you see yourself like when you're in a position to when you get older, like buying land and buying property and getting
a
in?
hundred percent.
Okay,
And the thing
okay,
about my shorty too, the shorty that I'm with right now, her family has most of their money and everything from real estate. They're like her pops is like almost like a real estate mogul out here in Utah.
really?
Yeah, he owns like a property in every block of like a city here in Utah.
Wow, wow, he
Like
doing
I'm
it up.
telling you,
Yeah, he doing it up.
yeah, he's doing it up. So like she's even putting me on game on some like real estate game because I would tell her like, oh like what about like getting a crib and like having renters, that type of thing. You know what I mean? Regular stuff that we think about that social media shows us, right? And she'll tell us like, yeah, people think that that's really easy, but you need a whole property manager for that. You know, like you need to have a real establishment. You can't just buy it and let it be. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you need to be taking care about the maintenance, about water, if anything goes wrong within the building. So
Yeah.
like, I think being with my lady has actually like given me a lot of like real estate knowledge. To be honest with you.
Man, we need that. Sometimes we need a second half that's going, that's going to get us on the right
Yeah.
path, bro. Like that's what my wife be on, bro. Like for real, like I've gotten better as I've gotten older. I'm 35 right now. Of course, in my 20s, I was knucklehead and running around, but absolutely a lot of things that I'm doing. I'm doing this podcast because of her. Like, you follow what I'm saying? It was her that gave me the hindsight, like, yo, I know you're doing music, but in between that, why don't you switch it up and woo woo and do 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 do. You know what I'm saying? I would have never thought to do a podcast. So
Did you have
it
any
it, it
hesitations at first?
hmm?
Did you have any hesitations at first of starting your podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like because maybe not hesitations like as far as just not that I didn't want to do it, but it was just like that nervousness and scared, and I always think of my, like, for some reason I had this hard problem of thinking, like, I always think of what negative can happen instead of thinking about the positive thing that can happen. You follow what I'm saying? So
That's
if
embedded in our
somebody tell
DNA
me, yo,
when we
start
grow
a
up, when we grow
podcast,
up.
woo, woo, the first thing I'm thinking is, yeah, but what if don't nobody watch it, or what if like instead of thinking like, okay, yeah, let's do this and then build it and put positive vibes on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but I stepped out on faith after she told me to do it. And we were both looking at, to be honest with you, she's the one that everybody talks to when it comes to booking
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. I know.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I know.
So,
That's fire, and I thought that was super fire too. I
yeah,
thought that was dope because I figured that was your wifey. So I was like, that's dope that like he has that like partner, like not just like relationship partner, but like the podcast partner, business partner. You know what I
hmm
mean? I feel
hmm
like the word partner is really overlooked in a
it
relationship.
is, it is, it is, it
Like
is.
everyone thinks that like a partner is just someone that you lay down with at bed. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
But like for example, like with me, I have my own clothing company as well, right?
Okay.
And we're ready to launch. We're getting ready to launch in around like no August, July ish.
What's the name of the company?
Ampersand Clothing,
Okay. Okay.
and I have like a set of like photographers and like models and stuff like that. But my shorty is also starting her own boutique, like for female clothing and all that, right?
Okay.
And it's dope because like I was telling her like, oh, give me your plugs on your photographers on like that mutual exchange. And like it's not that I'm trying to take them from her. It's just that like it's good to have that on the back burner. You know what I mean? Like I have my own set of
And not only that, it just makes everything when y'all work together, and like you just said, when y'all doing partnership as far as business together, it makes the love so much better. It makes that so much easier because it's like, yo, look what we did, like, yo, look what we doing, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's almost like bonding as well. Like,
Yeah.
for example, my shorty, she needed help with patterns, and I have this weird thing where, like, ever since I was younger, I have like an eye for patterns. So, like, I can tell what's wrong. Like, if I see an outfit, and I can tell it's a bad outfit, but something just stands out to me. I don't know what it is. I have to like tweak it. Like, I tried tweaking the shirt, tweaking the hat, tweaking the belt, tweaking the pants, tweaking the like. It's almost like a Rubik's cube, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have just weird eye for that, right?
Hmm.
And so I remember helping her pick out her colors, and then, like, that's like a joy and like a bond, and that's something
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
almost a gift that has no price on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Some things, bro. Don't get me wrong. Sex is wonderful,
Yeah,
wonderful. But some things, sometimes it takes that mental, that mental nourishment to,
yeah.
for both men and
Mental
women.
intimacy.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, absolutely, bro. So let's get back on this music, bro. When did it start for you? Like, when did you get the notion that not even just because we come up, I'm pretty sure your parents, my parents, we come up listening or have our parents listening to music and we driving and this and that. But for you, how early did it start for you to want to be an artist?
It's crazy because, okay, mm, like, me mentally knowing, at 16, my soul knew I wanted to do music when I was a lot younger. And I say that because, like, I remember I would think I was like maybe like 8, and I would think, like, how do artists remember so many songs on stage, right? And I would
Hmm.
start getting goosebumps, my hands would start getting sweaty, and then it's almost like with my soul going into the future, and then I would snap back into my present day, and I'd be like, wait, why am I even thinking about that? I'm not a musician, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I remember that happening so many times. And when I was 14, I went to my first concert. Hey, he's from out your way. I went to my favorite artist, Big Sean.
Okay, word, word,
Yeah,
word, word. Okay.
and I went to his concert, and, like, I remember the next day I was still riding a high. I was still like, bro, like, that was like, what was that? Like, it was something I had never experienced before. Like, the best way I could put it is, like, it felt like getting pussy, to be honest. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, or like getting a brand new car or something like that. Something like was super like euphoric, you know. Like, but even the next day, which was so weird to me, like, I had never felt that. Most times, I've always felt it in the present day, like when you buy like a new car or whatever. You might enjoy it, you're like cool, but then, like, after a while, it's like, oh, it's just I just have a car, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this was a memory and an event that I went to. It wasn't nothing physical, and
Hmm.
it was still affecting me like the next day.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, I always thought to myself, like, and I was like 14. I was like, why did that affect me so much? I'm like, oh, whatever. It's probably because I love concerts or whatever, you know. And then once I turned 16, I started, like, my homies started saying, like, oh, we want to make music, and I was like, you know what, that sounds pretty fun. Let me try making music too, right? And I was the worst one, bro.
Were you?
I couldn't
How
write a
was your
beat.
style at the beginning? Like what was you
I
doing?
was I was the type to think that, like, I always knew, like, you had to have a hook and a verse, but I was always on some and a heartbeat. I always knew you had to have a heartbeat, right? And I was on some, like, man, it doesn't have to be the catchiest as long as, like, the bars are there. You know what I mean? I was on my super, like, all respect to Davies, but I was on his type of time, like, just like
Yeah.
blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah, blah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes you can
Which
still
a
see
lot
that.
of us were, bro. Like
Yeah,
when I first started out, man, I would just it got to a point where I knew how to count bars, but I wouldn't count bars. Like I wouldn't worry about no hooks. I wasn't worried about
yeah,
song structure or like
yeah,
does this verse make sense? Does this verse go with the hook? Like are you on the same topic? Like I wouldn't worry.
yeah.
I was just worried about was my punchlines the hottest? Was my
Yes,
metaphors the
exactly.
coldest? Like
Like, I remember I would rap for the homies, and they would kind of be like, they would, like, you can tell when someone doesn't like your shit. They would
yeah.
kind of be like, okay, that was cool, and then, like, I remember asking them, like, bro, like, why is it that what am I not connecting in, right?
Mhm.
And, like, because I feel like I'm writing some dope ass stuff, you know. And they'd
Yeah.
be like, yeah, but you're not on beat. Like, it's hard to, like, get the punchlines, get the metaphors when the only thing you can focus in your on is that you're not on beat. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
And I was like blue facing it, bro. Like, that, I was just getting in beat, getting out of beat, and then just with time, practice, learning how to count bars, um, like, getting really into, like, the musical aspect of it, not just the lyrical part of it, definitely helped out, to be honest. And Kind of self-taught. Now everyone that I started rapping with, they all quit, and I'm the only one that's still doing it.
So you start out 16, and then of course you get to a stage where you're comfortable. Describe your sound, or what where did you gravitate towards to after
Bro,
that?
I started rapping when I was 16, right? Just writing bars.
Mhm.
I released my very first song when I was 17, late 17, like almost 18, right? I rapped for Big Sean. Um, yeah, I rapped for Big Sean. I have a picture up on my Instagram, and since I've always been like super lyrical, and the way I think is super analytical as well. That's something that I like. I don't know. I'm just like super blessed with both sides of my brain work, the creative side and the super like business analytical side work,
Yeah,
right? So I remember I was listening, I was consuming so much like freestyle, so much music, so much interviews around this era that I figured out these rappers don't freestyle their freestyles, they're written, and I learned that at like 17, right? So
it's
what
a
I did,
very few of them. You know, you got the Losos. I mean, not Losos, the King Loses, and you got a few of them that'll go in
yeah,
there and you know, Five Finger of Death. But
yeah. But then even then, sometimes I catch that they'll use like a bar here or there that's like in this old song. I'm like,
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
bro.
So
Abs-
I figured that out at 17, and I was like, yo, I was living in Utah, and I was like, yo, Big Sean has a concert in Colorado. It was for the I Decided tour, and I had just like I dropped out of school because like it was around the time that my dad started going downhill. You know what I mean? So I was like, bro, I'm not really doing nothing here. I'm probably not gonna graduate. I don't have enough credits because. I was taking off like crazy my sophomore year, my junior year. Like I said, getting in trouble, like not really caring. And I remember I got halfway through my senior year, and I was like, bro, like I'm not really doing nothing here. I know the material's fresh on my head. Let me just drop out, get my GED, and go help out my pops. You know what I mean? And because my pops needs help right now. Like he was essentially what he needed help with is running his business, running his store, because he was low on resources, but he still needed the employees. You know what I mean? And where his son comes in, like if you know your pops is struggling, you're not gonna be like, yo, I want you to pay me. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
clocking in 12-hour shifts every day, 6 to 7 days a week, and he'd be paying me like $500 a month. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Let's do the
Yeah,
math. What's 12 times 5 times 7? 12 times 5 is what, 60?
yeah.
So 72. I was working about 72 to 80 hours a week, right?
Hmm.
Every week, and I was only getting $500 a month, right?
Hmm.
So that's kind of crazy to think about it, because like, and I never held it over my pops or anything, because I was like, bro, we're working like this for not for us, but for our family,
Absolutely,
you know?
absolutely. You never faulted them for yeah, because clearly, like he's making it to where you ain't got to work for, what I'm saying. So
Yeah. So I get there, we're working and everything, and I tell my pops like, hey, bro, like, I just got my GED. I don't want any sort of like party. I don't want anything we're struggling to it. Just help me pay for these Big Sean tickets. And I told my sister too, because my family's Latino. We're Mexican. Like any excuse, we throw a party. We do something.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah,
told him,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I
Trust
told him
me,
like,
yeah.
I don't want anything. Help me just pay for this trip. I want to go meet Big Sean. I want to get these meet and greet tickets. And he's like, all right, bet I'll do it. And he paid for my sister's tickets. So my sister's 5 years older than me, and she's a super big Sean fan too. So I told her, I'm like, yo, I need you to drive, because
Is
I
this
was
the same
17.
sister that was in the front seat?
Yes, same
Okay,
sister.
okay,
Yeah, it's only me and her. We're the
okay,
only two. And
okay.
I told her like, yo, I need you to drive me. My pop said he'll pay for your ticket. Like, just I need you to do this for me, right? And so she came in clutch. She did it. She took me out there. She drove out there with me, because at this time I had a license, but I got in so much trouble. I think my license was probably suspended around that time, to be honest.
Hmm.
And I had no car or nothing, because it goes down to the same thing. Like when I was 16, my pops wanted to get me a car, but I was getting in so much trouble. He's like, "Why am I going to get you a car?" You know what I mean? I had just gotten locked
Yeah.
up for the first time
Come
when I was
on,
16.
Joey.
Yeah, yeah,
Come on,
exactly, bro.
man.
And
And,
I
and, and I
fumbled that bad.
seen and I seen you took a picture with Noise. Shout out to Dream Channel. Shout out to Noise. Like
Yeah.
how dope was that for you, man?
It
Like
was tight. It was tight. We'll
now, where
get there
was
right
that
now.
at?
I just want to finish the story real quick. I
Okay,
want to
yeah,
finish
yeah.
it.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
We'll get
I'm
there. We'll
doing
get
like Nori doing, be cutting people off. I'm sorry. Let me.
there. What you drinking in that cup? What
Yeah,
you drinking in that
yeah,
cup?
yeah. I'm
All
sorry.
right. So she drives me down there. I rap for Big Sean. He likes it. He asks me if I have a USB or anything for him. I give him a USB. I get down his email. He gives me like everything, right? Some other cat rapped for him too out there. And I remember that the other fool that rapped for him asked him like, "Hey, what did he tell you?" And I told him like, "Oh, he said he liked it, and he said that he asked me for music." I'm like, "What did he tell you?" He's like, "All he told me is to keep going." I'm like, "Oh."
Hey man, I mean, you know.
Because I wrote. So I was telling you that when I was 17, I wrote that freestyle that I did for him. I was like, if I was in the meet and greet, rap like a freestyle. I wrote it. I was talking about people back there. I was talking. I told them something like, "There's a shorty back there that I want to holler at," type thing. Like I made it really seem like it was a freestyle off the top of my head, and I was throwing in punchlines, doing this, doing that, metaphors. So like I remember there was we were rapping behind a I was rapping for him behind a backdrop of lights, and there was people behind us, and they were asking like afterwards like, "Whoa, what happened?" And I just saw him bobbing his head and like kind of dancing to it, and I told them, they're like, "Oh, that's crazy." And I remember there was people. When you're standing in the meet and greet line, you start chopping it up, right? And it was dope, bro. I told these people that I was gonna rap for him, and they told me like, "Hey, if he says no because of the line, tell him that everyone back here is down to wait for you to rap for him."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I remember it was just like it's those kind of like key moments in your life that you're like, oh, the universe is telling you this is what you have to be doing. You know?
And it just it boosted it put something in you. Just like
Yeah,
for example, like when you said you first when you was 14 and you went to that concert, that instilled something in you. When you had an
exactly.
opportunity to rap for Big Sean, not only did you rap for him, that was cool, but him just giving you that little, okay,
It was
yeah,
really
like you know what I'm saying?
facts because I dropped my first song. It was under a different rap name. So when I then after that a week later, I dropped my very first song when I was 17. And it was super whack, bro. Super offbeat, super whack. I went to like a hood studio. They didn't even mix my record. They didn't master it. You know how it is. And and like it
I've
kind of
been there.
like
That's why I'm laughing. I'm not laughing at.
yeah.
I know what that.
No,
I
I
know
know
what
you. I
that
know,
feels
bro. I
like.
know you've been there. I know for a fact. You don't even gotta tell me. I know you've been there, bro. Because that's mostly 90% of artists' story.
Absolutely, bro.
And so I kind of get like a mild depression from like how much hate I was getting from this song, right? Like I was like immense hate. Like it was almost like I was like the butt of the joke, right?
Hmm.
So I was like, I turned 18. I was kind of like, I didn't say like, oh, I'm gonna stop doing music, but I kind of put it on a back burner. To be honest with you, like I still kept writing. I still kept working and everything. And then like one day I was just like, bro, what am I doing? I'm not doing
Hmm.
anything. You know what I mean? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a song again. I'm gonna change my name. I'm gonna like rebrand myself and everything. And I remember I was recording at a homie's house, right? Once again, a hood studio. And he asked me my name, and I told him my name, my rap name. And he's all like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Whoa, what's wrong with it?" And he's like, "It just doesn't connect with anything. Why are you named that?" I was going by like Young and then something. I don't want to say the name because another artist uses that name, and that was a buster. To be honest with you, that was a whole buster.
Wait. I mean, okay. So, but like, just go on, tell us.
Huh?
I say, just go on, tell us. You done told us this much. You might as well just go on, let the cat out the bag. He all right. We ain't gonna give him. He ain't gonna be. He ain't gonna get no shine on this platform. So I can promise
All
you
right.
that, Joey.
All right. So my name used to be Young Benz. Horrible name. Horrible name. I was just like, cause the way I figured it is, I'm young. I'm the youngest in my crew. Like all my homies are like 25. I'm 20. I'm 21, turning 22. All my homies are like mad older, right? So I was just like, that's where the young comes from. The Benz, cause I always consider myself upper echelon. My taste in women is upper echelon. My taste in clothing is upper echelon. My taste in food is upper echelon. Just like the car.
You top
So I was
notch. You
like,
top notch. Yeah.
yeah,
You.
so I was like, that's why. But he's like, yeah, but that doesn't connect with anybody. That doesn't, you don't feel that. You don't like, yeah, we can feel that when we see it, but that, nobody feels that in their soul. He told me Travis Scott. He's like, do you know why Travis Scott's name is Travis Scott? I'm all like, nah. He said, his name is Travis Scott because his uncle's name is Travis and Kid Cudi's his favorite artist. That's what the Scott, Kid Cudi, and so he said, he put them together, Travis Scott. And that stuck with me. I'm like, bro, I'm all like, that's crazy. Like, so I just started thinking about it, and I was like, my middle name. I remixed my middle name a little bit. As you know, black and brown folks, we have crazy names. So
Absolutely.
my
Absolutely.
middle name is Joe Walken, right?
Okay.
In Spanish, it's Joaquin. In English, it's Joe Walken, right? So I was like, all right, what's short for that? Joe. Joe, that sounds too mature for me. I'm young, like you know what I mean. Last seems too like adult or
Oh,
something.
okay, not Nas making sense.
Yeah, I'm all
Oh,
like,
you like, yo,
let's
don't
do
call me
Joey.
Joe, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was like Joey, and
Nas
then
making sense.
with the West, I was like that. I feel like I had just that part of me, like how I was telling you earlier in the interview, like living between Utah and LA, like all that, just like super resonated with that. And at the time, like I'm a super big Kanye West fan, but like I didn't want people saying, "Oh, you West because of Kanye." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And so that's why I added the dollar figure, the dollar sign. And I also did that because in 5 years from now, once I'm more established and once I have meetings with these big corporations, I want to be able to rebrand myself as Joey West without the dollar sign.
yeah.
Kind of how Travis Scott did it. Like a lot of people drop their the dollar sign in their name.
And
You
who
know,
knows? You might keep it. It ain't nothing. You know what I'm
maybe.
saying? It
Yeah.
ain't. You know.
Nip dropped it. Rick Ross dropped it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone, a bunch of people started with the dollar sign, so I just figured it in that sense too. And you know what? I have never told anybody this, but I also have an acronym for West. West is win every single time. So Joey win every single time.
Drop the mic.
Exactly.
Drop the mic,
Exactly.
bro. That's hard. That's
Yeah.
hard. That's hard.
Yeah. And so I rebranded myself.
That might be
I,
the name of the that might be the title for the album,
that'd be
huh?
fire. Win every single time. Yeah, that'd
Huh?
be oof. Do it. Do it. Do it.
I'm talking about you.
And
That might be. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
For
yeah,
the
yeah.
first for your debut, boy.
That one was that was fire. I thought you were
You
saying
know
like
something to think about.
I thought you were saying the title of the episode of the podcast.
See what I'm saying? I see
Yeah.
you with invoice in the mail. But go ahead.
So, after I did that, I dropped my first song. It was 8 to 24. Like it was just like also still on some trying to figure myself out. It sounded the thing about this one. It was on beat. Like everything was good. You could tell I'm rapping. Like I'm rapping pretty good. It was catchier, but it wasn't quite there yet. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Released
yeah.
another
Some
single.
little, some little, some little
Yeah,
oregano and some little, okay.
yeah, yeah. It was definitely some mid. I dropped another three singles of some mid. The fourth one, that one was the one. I think it was the fourth or the fifth one. That one's the one when I started. That's the song "Go." I don't know if you've heard it before, but it's a song "Go" and the hook of it's super catchy. This is the one I
No,
play
no,
at
that
clubs.
no, no, that boy hard. Like,
Yeah,
when I was doing my due diligence and doing my research, that's the first one that came across me.
yeah. That's the one that
Yes,
streams the most. That's the one that gets accepted on playlists the most. That's the
yeah,
one that the DJs be playing. Yeah, at the clubs, at strip clubs, everywhere, bro. Like that's the song. You know what I mean? And then so going referring to your original question, I had the why we said this long ass story
no, no, yeah,
was
no, we got time, baby. Go ahead.
yeah was I think my sound is a mix of like definitely like that West Coast LA feel to it. Like, and I don't even do that like on purpose. It just comes out. You know what I mean? It's just
It's in
legal.
your blood.
Yeah, exactly. And also like a lot of the new age like sound is definitely embedded in me too. A lot of now I'm starting to dabble into R&B as well. So it's because and you got to think about it. I'm younger, so like when I started getting influenced by like music was like 7, 8, around that age. So who was
Absolutely.
around that time? Ti with the Paper Trail, T Pain, Akon, 50
Mm-hmm.
Game. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
These artists, some of these artists were super bar oriented, where it was like the game, but then a lot of these were like super melodic, like 50
Melodies,
super
yeah,
melodic,
melodies
bro.
was coming into play. Having that
Yeah,
hook and that bridge, like
yeah.
all of that.
So I honestly would say that my music is definitely that West Coast sound with that New Age. New Age meets like West Coast, but at the same time just like dope. You know what I mean? It's just dope. It sounds like the way I describe it is just luxury street raps.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I like that. I
Yeah,
like that. That got a coin. That got a ring to it. I like that luxury
yeah,
street raps. Yeah, absolutely, you know what I'm saying. And they
yeah,
cold, and I can tell that you put a lot of thought into your bars. Like you know what I'm saying. So you ain't
yeah,
just like it ain't just luxury street raps. You really saying something. Like you know what I'm saying. You really making sure that when the person hearing it, they take something away from it. You feel me?
yeah. And I definitely have to have like a good balance with that. The
Mm-hmm.
producer I'm working with right now, the one I work
Shout him
for,
out. Who you working with right now?
the producer Joe. You can find that's his at everywhere. He's like he's like my mentor. You know what I mean? He's the
Mm-hmm.
guy. interning for. He's the guy. He's the one that has been showing me how to like engineer, like more like the musical aspect of it. Like he tells me, he's like, you have really dope ideas. A lot of the time though, like keep making the shit that you make, but also like make something dumbed down that's easy to make TikTok dances to. You know what I mean? And I agree with him. You know, like so it's definitely that balance.
Something
I
that's
just
just gonna draw them in, give them the
yeah
sugar so that when they
yeah
come in, like
exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so I've been working on a lot of that lately. You know,
Mhm.
more freestyles because I feel like when it's more of a freestyle, people connect to it more because it's just no thought within it. It's more just your soul and emotion.
Mhm.
One of the first
And
videos
they'll
that
be
I
like,
started
what?
making.
And they say, well, because you know how many artists that they got dope songs, but that freestyle game or that bar game, they'll never give it to you. So it make you wonder, like, is he even writing his own stuff? Like, woo, like, but you would set your self aside from the next artist because not only do you know how to, you would dumb it down, you know how to make thought provoking stuff, and you will go in when it's time to freestyle. That and that's all around, bro. That's the whole
Yeah,
package, bro.
package.
Plus I write, plus I produce, plus I mix,
Yeah,
master, plus I work on the visuals. I seen you doing your biography document. So you know what I mean? That just make
yeah,
you all around that
yeah,
make you easier for the label. So even when they
yeah,
don't want to sign you, but they want to be a partner, that make them
yeah.
easy to
Facts.
that make
Because
them.
like well, everything I've been telling you, all these like I was just touching the surface right now with this interview. Not even on purpose. It's just like just due to time. You know, I'm not gonna get into my whole life story, but like with this whole rap process, like so much that I've like gone through to get to where I'm at right now, which is I feel like I'm just starting off. I was telling this to my pops the other day. This is like one of the first times I feel like it's actually starting to work out right now. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
Like everything's starting to get into motion because starting June, mid June, I'm gonna start releasing 2 songs a month. The reason I haven't dropped since capping is because I've been working on building that catalog. I've been working on learning how to like record myself, you know, because you can record yourself, but it doesn't mean it's quality, you know. So I've been just like super like
Yeah,
building that bag up,
you
you
can
know.
always. That's what one of my producers been trying to instill in me is record yourself, bro. Record yourself. You can always take it somewhere and get it mixed and mastered and let them
Ah,
do that.
yep.
At least you cut down on time
Yes,
and woo
exactly.
woo. You know what I'm saying? He like, you got the
Yeah,
equipment, just go ahead. He like I gave you the equipment. I put Pro Tools on your computer. I gave you everything you need
yeah,
to go ahead and drop it and then go sit down with the engineer and let them do all that. That way they have more time to do all of that and you ain't worried about if you do have an
facts.
engineer that you still paying, he can
Yeah,
focus on getting that sound right, bringing this down, woo woo, and
yeah,
not telling you how to, and he not trying to produce your music too, telling you like, you know what I'm saying. So that's
yeah.
hella dope. That's hella
And it's
dope.
dope because so what my plan is gonna be is dropping 2 records a month, one rap, one R&B,
Okay, okay,
and one visual a month. I got my own videographer now. So I
okay.
got a videographer on the team now. So I was saying all that to say that like when these labels do start approaching me, even if I start shopping myself, I'm not going for a regular deal, dog. I'm not going for some sort of like percentage deal. I'm not going where you give me the money and you own the masters. I'm going for that JV. I'm going for that joint venture, baby. I'm going for that profit split. You know what I mean? I'm going for that 80-20, 90-10. You know what I mean? I need you to
Yeah,
bust that bag down if you want to
yeah,
be a part of it.
yeah,
I'm not trying
yeah,
to do I'm not trying to do business with no one that's not Lucien Grange. And for people listening, Lucien Grange is the CEO of Universal.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And for a lot of these musicians, they don't even know who that is. How do you not know who Lucien Grange is? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's directly who I'm trying to do business with. I'm not trying to like yeah, I'll go with a subsidiary, but like, but we got to do something, some real business.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not here to get bent over. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. When y'all had the meetings, I'm sitting at the table. I'm not, getting
exactly.
no,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The
yeah. We're
second,
not here
the
to dance.
middleman is
We
coming
just
back to
yeah,
tell me what happened. No, I'm at the
yeah.
table. Like, yeah,
Facts. Yeah,
absolutely, bro. Absolutely. That's dope. And speaking of knowing about the business and going about the business, bro, I seen that you were recently at one of the Revolt Summits. Talk about that. Talk about how dope that was of an
super dope.
experience for you, bro, because a lot of people don't think that. See, a lot of people just caught up in the music, and that's why they get effed over a lot because
Yeah.
you're not trying to learn the business as well. It's your business. This your
Yeah,
business.
facts, bro. And it was dope, bro. Like, yeah, you're a good ass interviewer. That's full circle. That's how I met Nori at the Revolt Summit. Um, and it goes down to this, like, I don't know if you've ever seen this Benny the Butcher like clip that's floating around.
Mm-hmm.
It recently came out where he's like, "How are you an up and coming artist and you're not at South by Southwest? You're not at E3. You're not at you know what I mean? Like, how are you an up and coming artist, but you're rapping over whack beats because your homie made it? You know what I mean? Like, you can't afford to do that. Drake wakes up every day and has the best beats, the best writers to his disposal, all the money. He has an endless budget, like with Universal. Like, you have to compete against that. Why are you shortening yourself? You know what
Why
I
are you
mean?
shorting yourself? Yeah.
And when I went to the summit, bro, it was crazy. Like, I would sit in these panels, like in the audience and whatever, but the front row were people like Diddy sitting there soaking up game. Imagine that Diddy is still going to his own like conventions to soak up game. You know what I mean? That's crazy. I met Top Dog. Not Top Dog. Punch. My apologies. I met Punch. He was in the front row learning. Punch, one of the owners of Top Dog Entertainment. You know what I mean? Like, just they're soaking up in it, like information,
So that
and
tells that just goes to show you if these juggernauts is at
yeah,
the front row listening and soaking up game, who am I to be at the crib like just chilling like it?
yeah, yeah. Honestly, if I can give some advice to up and coming artists, it would
Please
be
do.
get a 9 to 5 because you need a revenue. You need a source of revenue. Educate yourself in business and in music too. You need that. People always say about educate yourself on the business. That's good. Do that for sure. Do that. But also on the music, make sure your music sounds good. You know what I mean? Get your music mixed. Get it mastered. You know, um, and also put yourself in these rooms. I
Cause
remember.
everybody ain't lucky enough to
Yeah,
have that song that somebody came across on SoundCloud and they mixed it, they mastered real good, but it's catchy enough to go. It's catchy enough to go out of here. Everybody not lucky enough. Like so, like you just said, I just want to piggyback off of what you just said. If I don't see you taking your craft serious, why should I? Like
exactly.
me with the
Yeah,
bag. Like if
yeah.
I had the big bucks and I don't see you, why should I? Like, cause now you want me to do all the work.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Facts. And off of that same trip, because I was in Utah. Me and my producer actually went out to the Revolt Summit together, and that then the following week was Complex Con in Long Beach, and I was like, I'm
Okay.
like, I'm just gonna stay out there and go to both. And when I went to Complex Con, not to name drop, but I met Wayno. You know who Wayno is, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I met Wayno and I asked him, I'm like, hey, bro, when you have limited resources and not a lot of success, how do you keep your team motivated? When like as motivated as you, and you just said just stay consistent and stay on the next, like don't like let them get inspired off of your work, you know what I mean? Like I have a homie that he told me, like I remember we were at this we were meet, I went over to his crib. I went over to his crib, right? And he was telling his homie, he's like, bro, do you know where Joey just came from? Where he's like, he's from the studio. He was sleeping on the ground, bro, and we were in here messing. We're messing around at the crib. He's sleeping on the floor right now. You know what I mean? And like that type of time, I was like, and I remember like I didn't tell him this. He saw it off of like he FaceTimed me and he saw where I was sleeping type thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of like what Wayno meant. And I say that to say that like I was interning at this session, and this one artist, like a local artist from Utah, and me were talking. Right, he's like a little older than me, and I say that story because it was on topic of what we were talking about. And he said, "Damn, bro, why is it that you always like get to be in these rooms and like get to meet these people? How do I make that happen?" And I told him, I'm like, oh, you just gotta make it, like, just put
You
yourself
gotta
in.
move around, bro. You gotta
Yeah,
want it first of all.
yeah, and like I remember, like you gotta put yourself in these rooms. Like you can't be like, oh, I'm not gonna learn nothing there, so I'm not gonna go. Like that complex content, it was like $200, right? Wayno was the only person that of like fame or whatever that I met. Like that piece of knowledge that I got was worth those $200. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
And in a couple of years, when I meet Wayno again, he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I remember meeting Joey Westside
Because
Conference."
now you done laid that groundwork and built the rapport kind of. So now
Exactly.
he see your face, you in these guys' faces. You follow what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah,
So
it's
now,
tight.
now
I'm
next
blessed.
time you go to spend that, and they see you like, yo, I know you ain't paid to get in here, right? No, yo, give my man a pass. Tell him,
Exactly.
you see what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Give my man a
Yeah.
backstage pass. Tell him he
Yeah.
with us. Like next time
Yeah.
Big Sean see you, he gonna be like, oh, you homie. You don't
Exactly.
even know I was riding around LA listening to that one song when you know what I'm saying? Woo, woo, woo.
Exactly. And right now that you're saying that, I'm just thinking like, damn, low key made a lot of connects. Like just going to these places. I went to a workshop of Mixed by Ali. You know what I mean? That's Kendrick Lamar's engineer,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
met YG there. You know what I mean? It's just as an artist, as an upcoming artist, you gotta put yourself in these rooms. You
Gotta
gotta
put
you
yourself
gotta
there.
have a job. So you gotta have a 9 to 5. It sucks. I hate my 9 to 5. I'm a welder, bro. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm blessed because it gives me money and it gives me an opportunity to go out and do these things. But like, bro, you gotta walk barefoot if you want to be sitting in a belly. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely,
And
absolutely.
and like yeah, so if I can give some advice to these up and coming artists, it would be get you a 9 to 5, do the
Mhm.
knowledge, and put yourself in these rooms.
That's hard, bro. That's the best advice that they can get, man. And if they don't learn from that, man, then they don't want it, man. And
Yeah, spend
that's
that money.
okay because that's okay because I will take it gladly from you. Like you know what I'm saying. I will show you what to do with it, and I'll show you how to treat it when I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
not only
facts.
is it getting it, it's not misusing it. Like you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Not misusing the blessing when we do get it. So yeah, man, that's hella dope, and that's definitely some jewels they can use. Um okay, so now let's say you done fast forward, you done relayed the groundwork, and now they calling you for South by Southwest. Who's one of the artists that you would love to just like be able to open up for, or love to just be able to say like, yo, I don't care if they only let me do 10 minutes. I came in front of XYZ.
Um, there's a lot of artists, you know what I mean. But I feel like people I want to go on tour with, it would be like The Weeknd,
Mm,
Tory Lanez.
mm,
Um, I feel like that YG would be dope. You know what I mean? Because parallel audiences, you know. But that's cool enough. But nah, I want to be with The Weeknd, with Bryson Tiller, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
because I'll tell you what, the number one consumer in the United States are women. For every they did this statistic where every $1 spent, 70 cents of that dollar in the U.S. is spent by a woman.
absolutely,
That means only men are only spending 30 cents of every dollar in the U.S. Women are spending
absolutely.
70 cents. So why do I want a room full of guys? Like, bro,
Or
nah,
period.
bro.
Like,
Yeah, no, I want. I've told this to my girl too. My concerts, I want those concerts to be the ones that these women come in stilettos and
yeah,
dresses, like and
yeah,
like I want them.
yeah.
I want
A
it to be the
vibe,
highest
a whole
echelon.
vibe. Because the women gonna bring the men. Because what we do, we want to be where they at, right?
Yeah, I remember when Drake was beefing with Meek Mill. They interviewed the game and they asked him about it. He said anybody who beefs it with Drake is automatically gonna lose because of his woman audience. You get in the car, even if you like Meek more, your girl's gonna pop in that Drake. And what are you gonna tell her?
Yeah,
Take Drake off. No, you're not. You just want to
yeah,
make your girl happy.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So
Absolutely,
if I could
man.
open up for some artists, it would be The Weeknd,
Hmm.
ASAP Rocky, Kanye West, and just on some bucket list stuff like Big Sean.
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
dope, man. That's dope. And yeah, that's hella dope, man. That's a nice little list, man. And
Yeah.
it'll be so surreal and full circle for you to be able to, you know what I'm saying, open up
Look
for
back
one
on
of the
this
guys
interview.
that you done spit
Yeah.
for, like for real, man. Um, if
What about
Joy
for you?
West wasn't, huh?
What about for you? That same question.
If I could open up for anybody, well, that's a good question, man. I don't normally get asked questions like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? You you taking my job. No. No, I wasn't ready for that. You know what? I wasn't ready for that because I'm gonna give you an answer, but like, I'm almost out the game, bro. So like I don't
Yeah.
but if I had to choose, See, it would have to be somebody that I know that's gonna put on a show. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It'll probably be somebody like if I could just do a show, and this if I could do a show with like Dipset or something like that, bro.
Oh,
Like I'm,
I remember I saw this podcast video. You were talking about that. Like you were super big on Dipset.
yeah, 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 yeah. It
Yeah,
don't matter how irrelevant they get or how old I get. That like it's still just gonna be like it's still gonna be like a bucket list thing. Like you know
yeah.
what I'm
Did you, did
saying?
you hear Cam on the new J Cole?
Yeah, absolutely. I was
Yeah.
just gonna ask you about that, bro. How you feel about the new album, man?
I was listening to it. It sounds really good. I'm not gonna lie to you. It sounds pretty good.
Okay,
Like,
okay,
like first round listening to it, like it was at the crib. I was listening to it through the Apple TV, so it was cool. It sounded good sonically, but it wasn't hitting me as hard. But when I put that joint in the car, I was like, whoa,
okay,
this is
okay,
bumping. You know. So
okay.
I haven't had a full time to really digest it, but so much of what I've heard of it, it sounded good, bro. What do you
Or
think?
if I can, so Dipset, right? Now that I
Yeah,
had time to think about it, or if I could open up or do a show, or I'm on the same bill as like a Wayne, like Wayne, or like Wiz, like you know what I'm
Wiz, yeah,
saying. If I
yeah,
could
that'd be
be on the
tight.
same show, if I'm coming
Or what
out,
about Snoop? Because I remember he's the first one that shouted you out.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, he shot me out a lot, bro. I ain't even gonna
How
hold
how
you.
was that? How did that Snoop Dogg get shout out feel? How did that? What did that do to your audience?
Like, bro, like honestly, I probably felt like how you felt when you was able to like spit for Sean. Like it's like
Yeah,
I ain't know what like cause you never know how going viral feel and it could be something simple, right? But you
yeah,
never know how that feel. And like the first time he ever shouted me out, I put this video of somebody dancing to I got this song called Best Life, right?
yeah,
And it was a video that he posted. This was the first time on my A1 Live page that he posted, and so many people was hitting me up, not only hitting me up, but in his comments, like, "What song is that?" Right? And
fire.
I never like, bro, I never like to this day, I go on my Spotify artist, and that
Yeah,
song is still doing numbers just because of that. Like, you follow what I'm saying?
yeah, I
That's
do.
because, bro, not only but not only do you feel good because yeah, I don't went viral, okay, woo, woo, but it lets you know that okay, because after a while you start thinking like, what am I not like? Is my music trash? Like, what's going on? Like, why is it you see? So it reassures you is what it
Yeah,
do. Like, so stuff like that reassures me that okay, because I was getting not only people from the states, like most of my love was coming from overseas of people like, yo, bro, I still play that song or like, or
wow,
if I post it right now, somebody hit me in my DM like, yo, that's a classic. I still da 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 da. You know
wow,
what I'm saying? That made
yeah,
me feel good. Like, so that was pretty dope, bro. It just instilled in me like, okay, bro, I know I ain't crazy. I know I'm not trash, bro.
yeah,
Like, you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
It's those little signs that let you know that like, oh, I just kind of need exposure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
So I
So
caught that you were saying that you're almost like on the tail end of your music. So you think you do a full transition into like broadcasting?
maybe, bro. Just I just love entertainment, bro. First of all,
Yeah.
I love music first. So
Yeah.
although I might not be looking to get on, I still probably be writing songs. I
Yeah.
produce, so I still probably be making beats, hitting the studio. Like I
Yeah.
still probably be going through the motions, but just as far as like full super throttle, maybe not, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, just I got three of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just all about them right now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just taking a step back. Maybe I was thinking about getting into like working on an artist. Like if I find an artist that's dope enough and I see where he going and he might need some beats or whatever, or he might, you know what I'm saying, just help him get to where he trying to go. That's probably about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? More so though, to answer your question, stepping behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're pretty good at this broadcasting stuff, bro. To be honest, you make a really good interviewer.
I
So
appreciate it,
yeah,
bro. I appreciate it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still learning myself, bro. So you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
I feel you. And even if you were like to start breading an artist, that's pretty good. That's what my producer does. My producer's like breading me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've learned so much just soaking up because you got to think my producer's like 34, I think, and I'm
Okay.
and I'm 20. I'm turning 22 in June, right? And he's privy to a lot of rooms that I'm not privy to yet. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
just him taking me around and showing me like that, you could do that for an artist too. You know what I mean? Because in Detroit, I'm pretty sure you hold some weight. You know what I mean? Out there,
Yeah.
your name is heavy out here, out there, and you could do that for an artist. You know what I mean? And with doing that and the exposure of your podcast, crazy. You know?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, yeah. So that's something to think about and look into. And now that because I'm from Detroit, I just moved out to South Carolina
Oh, okay,
in
okay, okay.
August. So all I'm saying is that's new. Like, cause I'm not. So that's like a kind of a fresh start for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
sometimes I get this resurgence because I'm still dope. Like I'm still like I just wrote a hit yesterday, right?
yeah.
Like so I be thinking like so now I'm about to look into like how do I get my songs to people, because maybe I ain't got to record it, maybe I ain't got to put it out here, but I know this is a hit. So how do I get it to somebody like that type of thing? That's
Yeah, I don't know if you read the 50 Cent book or like listened to it or whatever. He said that he does that a lot now. He says he's like, I still go to the studio on most days. 50 Cent to this day still goes to the studio most days. Or when he gets to like a craving or an ache, he's like, I'll make a song and I'll give it to one of these littles, like these little whatevers. These guys who have face tats or their hair colored. And the
yeah,
way I benefit is I'm paying it forward. I'm letting them get good music and I eat off of the publishing. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah. So it's because I never want to I don't know. It's in me, bro. It's in me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's
It's in
always
my
gonna be in you.
veins. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Yeah, it's always gonna be in you.
It's
Yeah,
in me, bro. So, I never just step all the way away. I'm going to always be doing something else. That's all I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Like you just said earlier, reinventing and refurbishing the brand, bro. That's all. You
yeah.
feel me?
Do you
But,
have any podcasts that you listen to?
yeah, Drink Champs, of course, I do the Joe Budden every now and then just to
Yeah, they just broke up. That's why that's a
yeah,
hot topic right now.
yeah, I seen that. I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
I mean, so I wasn't like I watched the podcast, but I wasn't that a diehard fan to be like,
I was.
oh,
I dead ass was a diehard
really?
fan, bro. Yeah,
So how did you
yeah.
feel? Like who? Okay, so whose side you on?
Um. Well, the thing is, I can't really pick a side right now because it's just one side being told right now. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah. You see
That's
how I'm
true.
protecting my. You see how I'm protecting future connections right there
But
with
I'm saying,
that.
are you one of those? Are you one of those supporters that's like, okay, well, I'm going with Maul. Then, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
It's because for like 2 + 2 =
If
4, no
Maul
matter what way you
leaving,
look at
I'm
it.
leaving. Like, are you
Nah,
one of those
nah,
listeners? Because you got some of those listeners that like, okay, if Roy and Maul ain't on there, I'm not listening. Like, are you?
nah. Cause I was one of those rare fans. I was a super big like Joe Budden fan. You know what I mean? Like, cause bro, he be dropping gems on there. Even if he just casually mentions like an industry name, you Google that name and then you see, oh wow, this person is the head of this. Like,
You gonna
I think
learn something. That's the reason why, don't get me wrong, it's entertaining Drink Champs is because they laugh and get, but that's the reason why, especially when it first came out, that was the reason why I was watching it because he always had a legend on there and they was always dropping game.
yes,
And that's what I'm about. If
always,
I can't soak up no game from it, I'm not gonna watch
yeah,
it. Like I
facts,
can,
yeah,
I can laugh and giggle, but if I need something from it, I need
yeah. Some sort of
even if it's
substance,
two pieces of jewelry, I
yeah.
need something.
Facts, something, and it's always like if you're looking for it, you'll find it. You know what I mean? If you're
Yep.
just kind of like casually listening to it or whatever, it'll go over your head. Or if you're just like kind of doing whatever, you know what I mean? But if you're listening for those gems, you'll get a gem out of there. You know what I mean? Always.
So Joe, I listen to Joe. I listen to the Star Report, and then $1 million worth of game. I listen to that.
I like that one too. Yeah,
Gilly and them.
yeah,
And then that's pretty much about it, bro. Outside of that, that I just go to, and then in between that, I say, okay, let me see what they talking about over here, and then I listen to a lot of because I like all types of entertainment, right? So I look at a lot of actor interviews. I try to watch
yeah,
a lot of lot of interviews with film or stuff like that. So
yeah,
any form of entertainment, bro, I'm there. Sign me up. You follow what I'm saying?
yeah. I
I
do.
just like I just like to learn and soak it up. And then surprisingly, if I'm not doing that, then I'm looking at uh documentaries and stuff like that. I'm big on documentaries, like, bro, like, that's I love that type of stuff, especially when if it's something about history. I love history.
It's because we almost get to a certain point in our lives where we're like, well, why are we watching this? Why are we paying attention to this? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And I'm not gonna watch something just for the information. And it's boring. It's boring. Like okay, for example, if there's this documentary about music, I'll probably make myself listen to it, but like I won't like it. I won't enjoy it. You know what I mean? And it'll be like hell. So I might not even retain the information. But if it's something that I'm laughing at, having a good time, actually engaged in, I'm
Yeah,
retaining it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
absolutely, bro,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, same here. Well, you at the studio right now, so what you working on now? What can we look forward to, Joe? Like, come on, man, Joey. Like, and it's funny you said you was gonna start releasing 2 songs every what week, every
Every
month.
month, every month.
Cause I was wondering, like, yo, where's this music? He hard? Is he
Yeah.
getting quiet on us? What is he doing?
No,
I
no,
know,
no,
is
no,
he
no.
about to hit us over the head with that
Yeah,
surprise? Like, what's going on?
yeah.
So, like, talk about it. What you got? What you working
Building
on
that
now?
catalog.
What can we
Building that
expect?
catalog. Yeah. So I've just been building that catalog, bro. Getting better at my craft, working on it. I'm in a position now where I've never been in my life, as far as like studio and like just
Shout out to that,
life,
bro. Shout out to
like
that.
where like it's just a lot. I did a lot. I'm moving out of my parents' crib for the first time. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like, cause I've always told myself,
You
I
nervous?
was I was. I was a
Okay.
little nervous, but I got my ducks in a row. I'll be fine. I always figure it out. You know what I mean?
But sometimes the nervous is like excitement nervous, like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah,
let's go, like, so
yeah. Because I'm moving like about 2 hours away from their crib, so it's whatever. But I've always told myself like I'm not gonna move out of my parents' crib unless like I it's lucrative.
Mhm,
Because my parents are the type where they don't charge me rent. You know what I mean? Where
mhm.
they're like we're on some like we help each other out type thing. You know what I mean? You're living at home, you're helping out with whatever we need here. Because my pops is 62, my
Mhm.
mom is like 55, 56. So like I help them out with whatever I can. And
Absolutely.
in return, why
Absolutely.
are they gonna charge me rent? I'm their kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if that's the point, then why am I living under my parents' roof? I could just go live somewhere else.
Absolutely.
So I've always told myself I'm not gonna move out until it's lucrative, and now it's finally lucrative for me to move
Mhm.
out because of that big ass drive that I do to come to the studio. I live 2 hours away 4 days a week now. I live out here because it's Salt Lake City, right?
Mhm.
Um, my apologies. I don't know what happened.
No, you good.
Can you see me?
Absolutely.
All right, back. All right. Um, so I was driving 2 hours and staying down here Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? And then driving back and just balancing our life, and it was just like getting too much for me. It's hard to balance 2 lives. You know what I mean? Like where you're literally living in 2 separate places and driving yourself and working 2 separate jobs. And
Absolutely.
so it was just too much. So I was like, I'm just gonna make the full time move down here, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm moving down here on June 10th,
Mhm.
and around that time is when I'm gonna start releasing the 2 songs a month.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
It's gonna
and
be it's gonna be a celebration for everything. It's gonna be a celebration for a new environment. It's gonna be a celebration for, okay, I done built this whole catalog. Let's start
releasing it. Yeah,
let's start releasing it, and then just let's get our second win. This is the
yeah,
new this is the new Joey West. You feel me?
yeah. And I feel like
Not a
honestly,
young Benzo. Like you know this.
yeah, and I feel like honestly, because I was dealing with a lot of stress, to be honest. Like, especially like as an upcoming musician, when you're the only one doing it by yourself, you're providing your own funds. You're as an intern, bro. Like, I'm catering to people. You know what I mean? Like, oh, do you guys need water? Let me adjust your mic. Let me do this. Let me do that. Oh, you guys want me to go pick something up? You know, I'll go pick it up. You know, type thing. So I'm catering all day, right? So I'm catering to that all day. I'm driving myself 2 hours every single weekend, 4 hours every single week because driving and driving back. You know what I mean? And having to balance like your family life, your girl, and then your creativeness and like your fitness, your health, and everything. It's just like
You
super overwhelming.
juggling.
Yeah, exactly, right? And I feel like it's almost like the universe is almost breading me for like getting ready for what's about to come. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's
Absolutely.
also how they say that success and failure are like really right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like, oh, bro, I forgot about this. I literally just crashed my Benz yesterday. I like full totaled it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's crazy, like having to juggle all these things. And it's almost like the universe is definitely like prepping you, like, hey, this right now we're going through. This is the easy stuff.
You
Like,
didn't get hurt in the accident, did you, bro?
I sprained my wrist. My fingers are like hurt. I scraped up my legs, but I walked it off. It's whatever.
Uh, uh,
Yeah, I'm blessed, dude. Like, to be honest with you, it's a blessing. You know
yeah.
that something like that could have been, God forbid, it could have been fatal. You know what I mean? And
Man, bro, we don't need no more accidents, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
facts. Yeah. So it feels good. It feels like with all that stuff, you things come and go. You know what I mean? Like items. I feel like you gotta treasure moments
Absolutely.
and people. You know,
Appreciation, man.
and opportunities too. You know, because it could have been very easily for me to been like, oh, screw this internship. You know what I mean, or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
no, it's like, bro, like this is a blessing. You know what I mean? You're working with a producer that's breading you. Not only that, like you're making these connections with different people.
Mm-hmm.
Like all you got to do is like hold your nuts up. You know what I mean? And weather the storm. So
That's preparation, man. Proper
yeah,
preparation
definitely.
prevents poor performance, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to Jay Black. That's his coin. That's not mine. But yeah, man,
yeah.
it's nothing. It's nothing like being prepared. You think LeBron just woke up and was LeBron? Like, no,
Nah,
Kobe ain't just
nah,
wake up and was Kobe. Like we
nah.
worked. Like we worked to be the
Yeah,
superstars that we are. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
A
What do
lot
you
of
think about
people don't.
that? Yeah, I
Hmm.
don't know when this podcast is gonna come out, but we're recording it on a Saturday. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
shows you the different level of hunger. Like over there, what time is it right now? Over there,
3:46.
3. Right now, you could be chilling with your kids. You could be chilling with your wife. Right now, I could be with my girl. I could be with the homies. I could be smoking. I could be drinking. I could be partying. I could be doing whatever. But what are we doing? We're working right now. You feel me? So it's that hunger, that wanting
for
it.
something that's beneficial to both parties. Like you see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's dedication, man.
Yo, what about you? What are your plans coming up? Because my plans are just releasing 2 songs a month and a video a month.
Well, you know I got a resurgence, man. So like I say, like I'm back in that mode to where I want to say to where I'm thinking about projects and thinking about
Yeah,
music again. Like I'm back in that mode. Like I say, I just was I just made a cold one, bro. Production wise, I just made a cold one the other day, and the hook came just like that. So I'm back in that mode of feeling good on seeing what I'm gonna do about another album again. It's about that time, bro.
yeah.
It's
So
about that
you asked
time.
me a little bit earlier in the interview about like living in LA, and if it's really like that. Is it really how they say it is in Detroit? Like as like pressure wise?
Man, I say it's like this, bro. It's like every hood's the same.
Yeah,
You follow what I mean by that? So sometimes as long as you mind your business and just in your lane, you can prevent things from happening, right?
and
You
it's
follow what
almost
I'm
like if
saying?
people know you're on your grind, people know you have your head down. It's almost
Yeah.
like they want to protect you too. You know,
Yeah. You see what
like
I'm saying? So
that's how it was this last time I went back home. Like I showed up like in my new whip, I showed up with jewelry. Like I showed up ready to party. You know what I mean? And like just looked out, and they look out for their own. They tell me, hey, you ain't been here around for a while, but that one cat that was your homie, keep an eye out for him now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Then it's because people like know if it's almost like if you make it out, they can make it out too. You know what I mean? They wanted to
Absolutely,
make it
bro.
out.
Absolutely. Perfect example, like real quick. When I was in school, right? I had went to college for a little while, right? And I've always hung around like big homies. Like my homeboy Bo, he's even older than me. That's the longest friendship I've had. He's still my friendship to this day. So I've always had like big homies, right? When I went to school and then like I was effing up and got kicked out of school, right? They was pissed, bro. Like the big homie, they
Wow.
was pissed. Like you see what I'm saying? Because they
Wow.
like, yo, like you not supposed to be here. Like you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But although they was doing what they good, they still was positive minded enough to say, bro, this ain't you. Like this our lane. Like this ain't your lane, bro. This ain't you, bro. Like what you doing? Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was still dope. And that's why I don't never like forget them or look down on them because it's nothing to look down on. But at the same time, I never forget about them because I know where their heart is. Like you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do. I do know what you're saying.
Yep.
And it's crazy. I think having those big homies makes you a big homie. I was just like out with my lady and her little brother last night, and I was giving him game. You know what I mean? And it's not even on some let me give him game because this is beneficial towards me. It's like, nah, let me pay it forward. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like bro, like if you ever have any sort of concerns or anything like that, like I'm a phone call away. You know what I mean? Like guiding them down the right way. It's always like when these tragedies happen, like like for example, let's do something drastic like a school shooting. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like that's someone that didn't have someone to turn to. You know what I mean? Didn't have an older homie. They had all this stress boiled up, even at that age, and just they thought that was the route to go. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And it's almost like being that big bro, being that big homie, being that OG for people. It's almost like you're paying it forward to not just yourself and not just them, but to your community as well. You know what I mean?
Do you yeah, absolutely, bro. What advice would you have to somebody? Because I got a homeboy right now. I heard you talking about catalog, right? And building on
Yeah,
catalog, right? I got a homeboy. He gonna see this. Shout out to Tuck, man. That's my homie, bro. He was one of the ones that when I was about to give up and I met him, he like gave me a whole new resurgence. He a young dog, like he ain't a young dog. He's actually very mature for his age. You know, he around your age or whatever. But he's sitting on so much dope music. He a dope artist. He's sitting on
yeah,
so much music, right? And I understand about building your catalog. But he won't put the music out. And I be like, bro, you gotta put something out, bro. Because I be trying to advise him, like, bro, you don't want to wait until you feel like you like me, like it's too late. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I'm
Um,
talking about, bro. He's sitting on gems. He's sitting on songs I wish was mine. It's almost to the point where I want to be like, yo, you might well just be my ghostwriter. Just go ahead. But I'm too prideful. I'm too
yeah,
prideful on my
same.
pen too. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But I'm talking about he's sitting on some jewelry, bro. Like, how long do you think is too long before you like, okay, let me start putting a roll
Release it.
out?
Or
You see what
like
I'm
just
saying?
release it. Like honestly, man, you know what really like gets under my skin is when I see these artists releasing albums and they don't have a fan base. Why are you releasing an album for? Who are you releasing that for? When you're like, I'm not gonna listen to it. I'll listen to one song. Yeah, the first song, or if there's a big feature on it. That's the
Yeah,
only one we're listening to.
yeah.
So why are you wasting all your resources, all your money, all like studio time, brain power, and energy into projects, bro? Like, do you not realize there's like 10,000 songs uploaded a day on Spotify?
Hmm. Hmm.
Like, do you think someone wants to be in a car and listen to your stuff for 30 minutes? No, bro.
Yeah,
Like, no, don't
yeah,
nobody want to listen to
yeah,
that. Like, release single after single. If he has a lot of catalog, release single every week.
yeah.
Release single every week for a year or two. And year three, guess what? You're going to be sitting in rooms with
Because
people who want to give you money.
it's not like the your mind gonna go like he do this. Like it ain't like he just
Yeah,
gonna stop, wake up one morning and stop being able to make a dope
exactly.
song. Like
Yeah,
so don't worry about what you releasing and all man. So it's gone. Like I can't do it
yeah.
again. Yes, you can. You
And and if he says like it's old or it's dated, bro, it's only old to you. It's new to me. I've never heard it. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you can like unless it's like a super like old
yeah, yeah,
like you
yeah,
know how
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
yeah
Unless it's crunk music, then
yeah exactly, bro. But if it's not, bro, then just put it out. Put it out.
yeah,
Have a make a good branding behind it. Have your artworks all kind of like correlate to each other in a sense. Because a lot of people give me the argument where like if you're only releasing singles, you're not really giving people a story to you. Well, it's because you're seeing it from a very one dimensional point of view. I'm a 3D artist. People look at me. The music is just a part of it. The clothing is another part of it. The social media, the storytelling, the videos behind it. It's all story. It's all a universe. You know what I mean? And if it's just singles, they're gonna look into why is he just releasing singles? Oh, he's just releasing singles because he's well rounded in the business. Oh, why is he well rounded in the business? Because he has a business mind. Where did he get that from? His childhood. It all goes. It's all 3 dimensional. You know what I mean? It's not a flat surface. I feel like people think if you don't release an album, you're not giving them a story. But that's a very dated way of thinking.
yeah.
It might have been a factor back when we didn't have Instagram, when we didn't have YouTube, when we didn't have like these 4K cameras in our phones. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
Like
right, right,
we're in a new era. Like you don't have to be as dated anymore. Like
right.
you don't have to do that. You can literally look at the artists that are on top right now. Look at Russ. He did that by he's popular now from dropping a song a week. Look at Griselda. Griselda floods the market with music, right?
Right.
Benny the Butcher drops next month. Conway drops next month. Fly Gun next month. West Side Gun next month. You know what I mean? Just floods the market, you know. And people want to be releasing one album, 2 albums a year. Bro, ain't nobody gonna listen to that, bro. Nobody.
Yeah.
Like,
You
like
dropping
you,
game though, bro. You dropping game because you don't know how many people somewhere right now making an album for 3 people.
yeah,
So you
exactly.
dropping game, like I had to learn that myself. Like honestly, origination wouldn't have came out if it wasn't for the going viral and the this and that and the me starting to pick up a little bit of traction
Yeah,
to make me confident enough to say, okay, because enough people is asking like, okay, like you know what I'm saying? But if it wasn't for that, my last album I would have still been recording. My last album I would have still been recording. Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. Facts. And bro, like we don't. An artist has everything he needs to be an artist in his phone, in his hands. To be honest
Yep.
with you,
Yep.
I like, bro. We're in a new era, bro. Like we don't have to resort to '05, '07,
Yeah,
'08.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I think it's cool. TDE is probably one of the labels that's like most like looked up upon as far as talent goes. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they have a way that they do it. And I think the reason why they're still able to just to drop like projects, one is because of the name. You know what I mean? Top Dog. They already have that fan base,
Uh-huh.
and also they have these like artists in their roster. Hold up, can you hear that?
You good. You good, bro. You
All right.
good.
They have these artists in their roster where they have a Kendrick, they have a SZA, they have a J Rock, they have a Schoolboy. Where no matter who it is that's dropping, people are tuning in just because it might be one of them. You know what I mean? Like for example, I don't know if you saw the campaign that they just did on social media. It was the TDE next week. We're dropping something. Everyone thought it was Kendrick Lamar, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
People were tuned in. It turned out it was
Yeah.
Isaiah Rashad. You know?
And they have a nice team to where okay, even though it ain't Kendrick, it still don't matter because I'm listening. Y'all
Yeah,
got a nice
yeah,
squad
yeah.
over there,
Upper
like
echelon music. Yeah. And it's like when you have a roster like that, so many people pushing one project. You know what I mean? I think they have over 10 people, 10,
that's
15
why, bro.
artists.
I want to say this before we get off the air, bro. That's why I think, bro, because like the little group that we in, right? Like it's dope that we liking each other pictures, but if we really like everything that you just said, because it's nobody in that group this trash, right?
Yeah.
I
Ah,
feel like
there's one dude in that
well,
super
well,
trash.
well the I mean, we know the ones that we know the ones that's ready though.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. There's this dude in that group. Shout out to him. I think his name's like Zach something, Zach Mason, something
Yeah.
like that. Homie's been staying on their necks, and like he dropped this
I think he
crazy
just dropped
visual.
what did he just drop? He
That
just
single with
dropped
the phone thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember I saw this one video that he had posted where like it's a shorty playing like on the piano or something like that. You know, I was like, bro, this kid is staying on their
Yeah,
necks. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
he is. Yeah, he is. I like his visuals. I like his music. You know what I'm saying? So we got those gems. I'm looking for his because I want to, give him that since we done brung his name up and stuff like that. But we got those guys. We know the ones who we got. You know what I'm saying? We know
Yeah.
who we got.
We gotta shout out
Even like
912 for actually making the group. You know what I mean?
yeah. Shout out to him, bro. Like, cause you know what I'm saying. Like sometimes we need that. We need that support system. You follow what I'm saying? Because like
Yeah.
let's say if I'm getting lazy and I see y'all on y'all grind, that's gonna make me like, you know what? No, let me go do
Yeah.
me a visual real quick. Or let me go make me a beat. You know what I'm saying? That's
Exactly.
gonna make me
Yeah.
get on my it's called Talk to You Later. Zach Mason.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to him, bro. Like he's on his grind, but so that's
Steady,
gonna make
bro.
me a guy like Fortune. Every time I look up Fortune, putting out a visual.
Busy, bro. Busy, bro. And he's a super humble dude. Like he gives you your flowers. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Shout out my homie. Yeah, he's super tight. I like him a lot.
So that group. So I was saying that if we take them couple jewels, them couple gems that's in there, like you know what I'm saying, we could easily be a TDE top dog. We could easily be
Easy.
a, you know what I'm saying, to
Yeah, we
where
can be. You
okay,
know who Brock Hampton
if we
is?
know Joey West dropping tomorrow,
Yeah.
then we all gonna put our energy into Joey West. Everybody's posting his artwork. Everybody's
Yeah.
posting this video. Everybody's up under the you see what I'm saying? Kind of like we
Yeah.
do now. We do that,
Yeah.
we do it now. You
I think
know,
honestly, what would make that group better is if we shared like real stuff on our stories. But I noticed there's a lot of artists on there that have kind of like a scarce mentality
mhm.
where they don't even like. For me, if I wanted you guys to post something, it would be like a single, not a
Mhm.
selfie of me. Why would I want you guys to post a selfie of another man? You know what I mean? Like there's people like you, like me, like Zach, like Fortune, like people that actually use the group chat for what it's worth. But then there's dudes
Absolutely.
that be posting like videos from 3 years ago. Hey, go like this. Nah, bro. Like why? Yeah, like
Yo, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, we're gonna get it together, but like I say, the ones that know, we know, man, and
yeah,
we gonna salute them and salute to everybody. Salute to everybody. I'm not leaving nobody out, but the ones we know,
facts,
we got to keep that connection, and we got to keep that
facts.
so that when Joey West ready to do them 2 songs a month, we ready. We write on it. We write on our story, and we write on our feed. Like you know what I'm saying. We
Yeah,
write on our feed, like, and we treating it like we got to treat it like it's ours. Like I just dropped this single. Like yo,
facts.
this is fire. Did you hear it? Like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying. So that's dope, man. But
yeah.
Joey West, man, I had a good time, bro. I told you, bro, this was gonna
After
be one of
that,
the
yeah, I
ones,
had a
didn't
good
I?
ass time
You
too.
said
And
you
I got
said
something better for you. This is my first interview ever.
you see what I'm saying? I wouldn't have
Yeah,
never known that, bro. Like, cause
yeah.
one thing I get, man, well, I haven't had that yet, but one thing I be scared of is when a person is scared to like, you know, open
Conversation.
themselves and be transparent. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Give me your all. You done told me about getting pulled over. You done told me about
yeah,
you done told me about young Benz, and you ain't want to tell me
yeah,
that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Transparency, bro. And not only do I appreciate that, but your support is gonna appreciate that, bro. So I thank
yeah.
you
For
again
sure.
and
I thank
again.
you. You know, this is super tight. I liked it. It was tight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're onto something, bro, with this podcast. You're onto something. I'm telling you, this I the same way I told you that I have a brain that works both sides,
Mhm.
like the creative and that analytical and business side. Something I've been telling these artists is like, man, forget the radio. Forget radio interviews. Get on podcasts.
Mhm.
Podcast is where it's at now. Get these podcast interviews because you have your own following. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, if you're not a big boy, if you're not a Breakfast Club, why are you going to these radio stations? They just have
Yeah,
casual listeners.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
these podcasters, they have die-hard listeners who,
yeah.
if you say that it's tight, they're gonna be like, all right, let me check it out. Whereas if
Absolutely, and
yeah,
that's the thing. That's what I like. Kind of prided myself on, and wanted to make sure when I made this podcast that I wasn't going to interview nobody that I didn't actually feel like was dope, because you'll be able to tell. Like, you'll be able to tell in my demeanor, in my interview, if I'm just reading questions, you're gonna be able
yeah,
to tell that, like, you don't even really believe, you don't even feel like talking to him. So why do I feel like listening? But you
fact,
gonna know if I really rock with this person, because like I'm gonna be able to just, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
The vibe is gonna be there. You feel me?
hundred
The
percent,
vibe is definitely
yeah,
gonna be there, and the vibe was here, bro.
yeah,
And Joey West,
definitely.
tell them where they can find your music, man.
Joey West official on Instagram and Joey West 128 on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Tap in for monthly releases. You know, the drip. I'll show you guys how to dress
What's it?
dope without having to break the bag. A lot of people think you have to be having designer, but
Yeah,
people who wear all designer, guess what? Newsflash, they don't know how to dress. I'm gonna
yeah.
tell you right now, they're wearing that designer to cover up the fact they don't
Because
know how
they
to dress.
don't have no fashion sense, so they
Facts.
get it right off the mannequin.
Boom, yo! I was literally telling my shorty this. I was like, man, a lot of these dudes be mannequin dressers, bro.
Yeah,
They be going up to store, give me the mannequin. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Yeah,
yeah,
facts.
yeah,
So and dope visuals, you know. I give game, you know. I pay it forward.
yeah,
So
yeah.
just tap in. You'll have a good
You
time.
definitely gave some game here, and this was definitely an interview that I already know which clips that I'm a
Yeah,
piece and pull out on the solo tips, because that's another thing that I've gotten to, especially on Twitter. The certain clips that I post, people be commenting why, because it be something said there, like, it don't, you know what I'm saying, whether it's
yeah,
game and somebody like, yo, okay, or whether it's, sometimes I do a little controversy, like on my last interview that just dropped yesterday. This guy was saying how he felt like Drake took his his album cover. So people to comment on that, because I know that,
yeah,
controversy and all of that sells too. But for the most part, I know that people really want to soak in game. This is the day and age where it's information based, and people
yeah. We're in the
won't.
information era.
You follow what I'm saying? So I just want to build on that. But Joey West, once again, I thank you for going live with me on the A1 Live podcast, bro.
Definitely. I got you, bro.
We
Anytime.
live and we
Let's
lit.
do it. All right. Thank you for having me, bro.
Salute, my G.